You're listening to the legendary podcaster, the one, the only, T-Jam D. Your personal favorite, and the show you've been waiting for. Probably offensive.
Welcome to the show. I am your host, Anthony Scott Dover. Welcome to Probably Offensive. And today we're going to be joined by a special guest, my daughter, Maya. Say hi to everybody, Maya.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Great. That is my baby girl, Maya. And she just happened to be here while I'm doing the show. She won't stay in the room the whole time. But welcome to the show. Gonna go on your Corona update. I don't know how long we've done. 2.5 months, I think it is. Maybe longer. But we are up to over 1.6 million cases of COVID-19 and 97,000 deaths. So we're up to almost 100,000 people. Not quite 100,000 people, but almost 100,000. So far so bad. You know, a lot of times people say so far so good, but not in this case. I don't think we want to go that far yet. Still in the middle of most places are opening back up now, opening up the economy and people going back to work. There are, people going outside. It's getting warm out. It's pretty hot out right now. Today is Memorial Day. 5/25/20. So it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. And I got two sons who are in the service. So what's their names, Maya? Tyron and Tyron. My two sons are in the service. Thank you for your service, boys. So, I believe in, I was never in the military myself, but my boys joined the military. They asked me before they joined the military what I thought about them joining the military. And I told them, if that's what you want to do with your life, I support you. You could get yourself killed. Fortunately, for me and them, both of them are still alive. One of them still in the military. The other one done his duty, and then he did not re-enlist. So one of them is still in the military, and the other one is just on reserve. But he went over to he was over in Kuwait and Afghanistan and all over in the Middle East there for about a year. But he's back now. PTSD. I think it happens to all military guys if they, have the stress on their life. But happy Memorial Day to all of you listening who either were in the military or you knew somebody else that was in the military. I salute your service. And everybody who's in the military volunteered to be in the military. They weren't drafted, so that's even more impressive to me. It's one thing if the government forces you to join the military. That's what is called a draft. They don't have a draft anymore. or they haven't actually had to use the draft, because we have a lot of people who volunteer for the military. So my hat's off to those young men and women who volunteer for the military. Everybody is getting out of the house. Everybody been on lockdown, so they're getting out now. A lot of people doing a lot of stuff, ignoring the social distancing rule to the hilt. And I'm still running into people myself. I'm still running into people saying that they don't even believe that the coronavirus is a real thing. Now, that makes me laugh, because almost 100,000 people have died. And, you know, I hear people saying, oh, well, they're boosting the numbers. Listen, I don't know if they're boosting the numbers. I don't know if they're faking the numbers, as some people would say, but the coronavirus is real. You would listen to some of the people who have lost loved ones and family members, and you will understand that it's a real thing. Okay. You should be happy that you're not somebody who has a compromised immune system, or you had a family member die that someone who would have been alive. Some of you say, hey, well, if it kills someone who's 90 years old, but when it kills someone who would have otherwise been alive if they hadn't gotten infected with the coronavirus. So I believe it's real. I just say, hey, we gotta get back to work, or those of us who wasn't working, running out of money. But I think the government made a mistake. I hate to say this, but I think them giving people $600, tacking $600 on to whatever money you were going to get from filing unemployment, that's a bit much. A lot of people are trying their best not to work so they can get this $600, which is supposed to run out in July. But trust me, there's many people who would wait until the last check before they went back to work. They get the unemployment, which some people were only going to get like $200 or $300 on unemployment, plus the $600 that they get from the, the government tacking on that money for pandemic relief. I think it was a good thing that they increased unemployment, but not that much. That was a bad idea. Whoever's idea it was to give people an extra $600. Come on, man. You can't be on unemployment and get $900 a week. Of course, you're not going to want to go back when you never was making that much in the first place. You know, you get your regular 300 or whatever it was you were going to get. I don't know, because unemployment goes by your income and if you worked full time or not. So if you worked full time, you were going to get, and if you made, I think it's more than 16 or 7, it used to be like more than 16 or $17 an hour, and you worked full time, that you were going to get the maximum allowance of unemployment. But these days you have people who worked part-time and made $12 an hour, getting whatever money they were going to get on unemployment plus $600. They don't have any incentive to go back to work until that $600 a week stops. But these employers, they're not going to let it happen. Some of these employers are going to offer you your job back. If you don't take it, then they're going to report you to the government, and then that money is going to be cut off. If your employer reports that they've offered you your job back and you didn't take it, then they're going to cut you off. So it's a delicate balance. It's a slippery slope. If you get offered your job back, unfortunately, you got to go back to work and risk catching the virus. But a lot of people who have gotten out are not wearing a mask. And this goes along with frivolous lawsuits. I used to talk about frivolous lawsuits a long time ago because, we have so many frivolous lawsuits. And I ran into a guy who filed a lot of frivolous lawsuits, and he got some money. And he didn't even file. Well, he filed frivolous lawsuits, but this guy was just straight frauding the system. He used to fake hurt, and sometimes he would actually get hurt. I can't imagine actually getting hurt. This guy would actually get hurt. Like if he went into a grocery store and there was a major chain, like a multi-million-dollar company, he would if there was any spots in the place where they mopped the floor, this guy would slip and fall and actually hurt himself, like actually hit his elbow on the floor or his knee or something. And then he would threaten to sue. He actually told me to do it. Like, hey man, you need to, he done that at least 4 or 5 times. Walked into places, and he got a settlement from one place. So if at first you don't succeed, I said, so you actually fall out on the floor? And he said, yeah, man, you can't always fake it. They'll send you to a doctor, and they'll give you an exam. So you actually have to be hurt sometimes. But this guy would walk into places, and if he found anybody who had just freshly mopped the floor, and they put that sign out there that says, stay off, floor wet, or whatever it says, caution, he would walk on it anyway and slip and fall and hurt himself purposely. I was like, I don't think so, man. I'm not much for fraud, and I don't like being hurt. So I'll pass on that. But the country is open. We're opening up, going back to work. I see some people out there, just like I said, doing dumb shit. They're out there. It's not just that they're not wearing a mask, but the reason I mention these frivolous lawsuits is because I seen one lady online, and she went to a place, and they wouldn't let her in because she didn't have a mask on, and she threatened to sue them. She said that she had a condition to where she couldn't wear a mask. And I'm thinking that's nonsense. She's making up bullshit just to sue somebody. But she said that she had a condition